Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here and welcome. We're here with Barry Rodrigues. Hi, Barry. How are you?
Hey Rita, hey everyone. I'm good, thanks. How you guys doing?
Thank you. Let's start with a brief introduction about Barry. So, he's a growth marketer and the head of content at Bismodo, a business website aimed at helping startups and small companies to grow, which is actually a partner at the Tech Shops Fair today. Um, Barry is also founder at Next Gen Digital, a growth marketing consultancy, and he has gained extensive experience over the last 20 years. So we're here today with Barry to talk about an interesting topic that is finding leads and partners and potential investors using LinkedIn. So Barry, if you're ready, you can go ahead now. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Rita. Let me just hook this up, and if you can see me, brilliant. So I guess you can see me. And I'm going to go ahead. So first of all, thanks very much. It's great to be a part of Tech Jobs Fair UK. I'm really super excited to be here. I watched some of the events in the previous event, the Austria event, and I was like totally overwhelmed in all in a good way. And I think it's a really great event you guys have, and hopefully we'll be a part of many more events to come. So onwards and upwards, as they say. So I'm not going to bore you with who I am and what I've done. I guess Rita has already said some stuff about me, and if you want more, you can actually visit our booth at within the exhibition center. Here, we're going to talk about LinkedIn for startups, and we're going to talk about how startups and new entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs can find leads, partners, and potential investors using LinkedIn. Now, the question is, why should I spend my time on LinkedIn? A lot of people still ask me this. LinkedIn, hey, it's that site just where I could post my CV and find jobs. And yes, it is true. But LinkedIn is also a great business opportunity. It's a great global marketplace where people of all kinds, specifically people who have a lot of business clout, come and spend time networking and generating leads and talking about their brand and building authority. And as you know, I'm sure most of you people know who this is. Gary Vaynerchuk says LinkedIn marketing is something that he really believes in. And by the way, this was a quote from 2017. All right, so he's been known to predict stuff, and most of the time it's been things in the positive light. And he's predicted way back in 2017, he predicted that LinkedIn's going to go really big, and it is going big. LinkedIn has a massive database. All right, it has a database of like millions and millions. Literally, this 720 million is as of Q4 of 2020. As we are in Q2 of 2021, this might have gone up to 750 million. And the biggest user base comes from the US, followed by the UK, India, France, and Canada. Now, if you scoot on to the extreme right, that statistic is really powerful. And that is 71% of traffic to LinkedIn is direct, meaning these are people who actually go into their browser and they type in linkedin.com, whatever it is, every day, every other day, and they go because they have the intent. And their intent is whatever, to find partners, to network, to find leads, to converse with potential leads, to nurture prospects, and so on and so forth. So my goal, what is my goal today? My goal is I want to help entrepreneurs and salespeople and marketers and business owners fill their pipeline with leads. Okay, so you're going to be able to do this by leveraging the power of LinkedIn. And I know that a lot of people, even to this day, we're sitting here in May 2021, and I know there's a lot of people who believe in LinkedIn, but there's an equally, pessimistic bunch of people who say, "Oh, LinkedIn is just a place where you can find jobs." And while that is true, I'm going to show you how you can generate leads and grow your authority and build your brand on LinkedIn. All right. And of course, if you're in the minority in this presentation who want to also look for jobs and look for better opportunities, this is also going to give you an insight into how to do that. Right. So, and by the way, just before we go into the actual presentation, I just want to say something really quickly here. Most of what you see, what you're going to find out in the next 15 minutes or so is things that we have actually done, things that I've done, things that people I've worked with have done. So we've consumed a lot of content online, read a lot of blogs, watched videos, taken courses and what have you, but we've also done the experiments ourselves. So this isn't something that we're actually people that practice what we preach, right? So moving forward. First things first, before you even start your LinkedIn, whatever it is, your LinkedIn outreach or LinkedIn engagement, you need to define your goal, right? What do you want to get out of LinkedIn? Do you want to generate leads? Do you want to attract potential employers, find new jobs. You want to grow your personal brand. Some people don't care about leads and stuff. They just want to grow their brand and build an authority around something because they have greater long-term aspirations in mind, and that's totally fine. So the key is to find your target audience, right? And how do you do that? Before you start anything else, you need to build a buyer persona. Now, I don't know how many of you are connected with me on LinkedIn already, but those of you who are will know that I'm a very, very big proponent of buyer personas. A buyer persona is basically a fictitious representation of your ideal customer, right? So in this example, we've kind of this is a fictitious example, and this is somebody called Handsome Harry, and it's nice to give them cool nicknames because it's easier to remember them. When you're having a conversation with your marketer colleagues, you can actually say Handsome Harry instead of buyer persona A. It just makes better sense. And in this example, Handsome Harry is, he's 30 years old. He's got a business degree. He's in the marketing field. He's a marketing manager. He really, you can see his biography. You can see his motivations. You can see his goals. What does he want to achieve? And all these things, all these traits, personality traits, character traits, knowing his motivations and knowing his frustrations actually help you understand the kind of personality he is so that you can figure out what kind of posts he's going to like, what kind of content he's going to like, where he hangs out in this regard digitally, where does he hang out in the digital space, so on and so forth. And what happens is once you gather all this information, once you have all this information, you're in a better position to target him or people like him with the right kind of content. And there's a saying that goes, you can't, if you try, well, let me retrace it here. If you try and sell to everyone, you're going to end up selling to no one. So it's very important to sort of fine tune your market, fine tune your niche, so that you're not selling to everybody. You're selling to the right person, and you're appealing to the right person. And with that said, then we kind of go into the actual meat and potatoes of this presentation. So this is like, I call this the four-leaf clover. I'm not Canadian. I just like the concept, or Irish, but I like the concept of a four-leaf clover. You can call it the four pillars or the four cornerstones, whatever, it doesn't matter. But here, the four main ingredients of a good LinkedIn presence is profile, outreach, uh, you know, publishing good quality content, and engagement. All right. And you've got to do all these things, or preferably profile, outreach, and engagement, a little bit of content to actually establish your niche, build your authority, and get people to notice you. All right. And also, by the way, it also helps if the LinkedIn algorithm notices you, right? So first things first, let's get into the profile. Now, this is the most important thing. This is like the foundation. This is like building your foundation for your LinkedIn outreach process. And a lot of people ignore this. They focus on creating really good content. They focus on engaging a lot, but they don't really focus on beefing up their profile and optimizing it to the best of their abilities. And the approach here is very simple. You've got to approach your LinkedIn profile, like a marketer. All right. So it pays to be a marketer, or get a marketer to look at your profile so that you can optimize it, as opposed to a CV writer or a recruiter. I'm not saying you shouldn't. You should get both their opinions. But here in this instance, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to attract the right kind of people, and you're trying to build a perfectly optimized profile. And to do that, you need to think with a marketing hat. You need to have a marketing mindset, right? So that said, here's a couple of things that a lot of people ignore. They don't put the banner on top here. It's really important. As you can see on the top side where it says growth marketing for startups, this is actually one of my old banners. I just updated mine recently. It's one of those things where sorry, it's just one of those things where you kind of you just let things be, and what you need to do is you can do various things. Like you can say, you can mention a couple of skills that you have. You can say what you're good at. You can actually put out a really enticing tagline, and or you can even include a call to action, like DM me for more information, or get in touch, or email me today, or whatever. The second thing is use a professional looking image, and lots of people ignore this. This is really, really crucial. You have to use the right kind of image. You can't use a cropped image of you from from last Christmas office party, or a picnic that you had a couple of years ago. You need to really, really invest in a good headshot, right? Next, your headline. Your headline should tell people what you do. And here's a bit of an exercise here. For your headline, you need to define your headline, i.e., your value statement. And your value statement is who, what, how, right? In other words, who do you help? With what problem do you help them? And what's the solution that you provide? right? It's very clear, very simple, but it gets the job done. Here's an example. We help startups and SMEs. Okay, that's who we help. With what problem? We help them get more signups and opt-ins. And what's the solution? By optimizing their online sales funnels and landing pages. Right? Here's another example. Who do you help? We help real estate agents get more leads for property viewings by getting more bookings. Now, you can change the we to I, it's interchangeable, but the structure is really, really important because this, you don't want to, it doesn't matter if you get 1,000 people on your profile every month, but if those 1,000 people are not the relevant people, it doesn't make sense. I would rather get 100 people out of which at least 50 are my potential customers that I can speak with. And then when they read this headline, they're going to instantly be attracted to the rest of my profile, right? So then optimizing your profile, you also need to optimize your summary. And a lot of people, again, what they do is they list some of their greatest accomplishments, or worse, they put the job description from their CV. They just copy and paste it. Wrong, 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 absolutely wrong thing to do. What you really need to do is you need to tell a story. You need to break this down, use all the, I think it is about 1,200 characters, which is roughly around 400 words. And people think, oh, if I put too many words, users may not be attracted to read, and that's fine. You don't want everybody to read the summary. You need the right kind of people to read the summary. And trust me, if your story, if your opening 3 lines are attractive enough, the right kind of people will click more and read the rest of your story. What you need to do is 3 things. One, open with a bit of a storytelling sort of style. Number 2, use the keywords that you want to be found for. So if you're in, for instance, real estate, use property management, use keywords like that that will get you found, that will get you ranked in searches. Apply the principle that is very similar to SEO. Those of you who know SEO, you'll understand what I'm talking about here. And the third thing is clearly define a call to action somewhere at the bottom. Say something like, get in touch with me, send me an email, or DM me right away, or let's get on a phone call, put a link to my calendar, whatever. Get people to sign up or get people to take some kind of action. And the last thing is mention as many skills as you can. I'm not sure, LinkedIn lets you put up to 100 skills, and that's fine, but try and get at least 5 or 10 up to 100 endorsements on about 5 to 10 skills, because again, these do help you rank up in searches. And this helps both if you're looking for partners, if you're looking for opportunities, and if you're looking for jobs as well, because what LinkedIn's algorithm does is it kind of matches you to the jobs depending on how strong you are for specific endorsements that you got with your keywords or with your skills and endorsements, right? Next, we talk about outreach, and this is the coolest bit, right? So while you're doing your searches, I guess it's not very difficult to do the searches, but what I do recommend is learn how to do Boolean searches. A very, very quick note, we're going to be launching a LinkedIn training course very soon, hopefully within the next month, if all goes well. And I'm going to give you some more details at the end of this, but we're going to teach you how to do Boolean. But if you can right now, you can just go to Google and learn how to do simple searches, LinkedIn Boolean searches, and you'll be able to fine tune the kind of people that you want to find. It's great, but I'm not going to get into that right now because we don't have enough time for that. But what I will do is I'm going to share some sample outreach connection requests, right? So I think this is for a real estate example. So here goes. So this is the initial sample request. Connection request. Hey, Jim, I'm looking at growing my network on LinkedIn. It would be great to connect. I love what you guys are doing at so-and-so agency. Would you like to connect? Right? And it's slightly modified. The next one is slightly modified. This is the first one you send when you're asking somebody to connect with you. This is another set of examples asking for people to connect, right? I saw your comment on Tim's post. This is a slightly different variation where you're commenting on, where you're sort of trying to build some kind of find a similarity or find some common talking point. So here you're saying, I saw your comment on Tim's post and I totally agree. Would you want to connect? Or another one says, I hear you attended Oxford University. So did I, but it seems like so long ago, and I enjoy connecting with other alumni. Would you like to connect? So the idea here is to find things that you connect with. Again, very, very important to know, there's absolutely no selling that takes place here. You do not pitch, you do not talk about your company, you do not talk about your services. You're just introducing yourself. This is after the person is accepted, right? You say, hey, thanks for connecting with me. It's great to be a part of your network on LinkedIn. If there's anything that I can help you with at Real Estate Genius or whatever your company is, please feel free to reach out. Again, you have to give before you receive, right? Do not pitch, do not try to sell, nothing about yourself, your service, brand, nothing. Keep it personal for the first few interactions, right? This one is after a few days, and this one is if you think the prospect has responded well enough and you think there's a chance that they might bite, you say, hey Jim, I'm really excited to be connected with you. It looks like you run your own company. I put together a free ebook that helps businesses deal with running a business in a recession. Let me know if you like a copy. And the other one on the right says pretty much the same thing, but it says, I'm going to send you the link. And this is great if you're going to build an email list because you want people to sign up. You want to opt in. You don't want to just spam them with crap, right? You want somebody to willingly sign up to something, i.e., opt in. And this one is if someone's not heard from, if you haven't heard from someone in a while, you just want to sort of give them the jump start or kickstart or whatever. You want to say, hey, hope all is well on your end. Thought you might find this helpful. I work with lots of real estate advisors and consultants. I've created a free checklist. If you want it, just let me know. Either way, I'd be curious to hear, what's working best for you in these times. Again, all these sets of conversations are purely to incite engagement. You just want to get a feel for how they think, what their aspirations are. You're trying to build the persona. You're not trying to sell to them. And by the way, the key is to get all these conversations offline. And when I mean offline, I mean get them off LinkedIn, get them on a call, get them on a sales call, get them on a Zoom video, or get them onto, a personal meeting. Hopefully, whenever they're allowed, and that way you can sell at that time. But do not try to sell on LinkedIn. All right. So, by the way, we've got a done for you bunch of messages, and all you need to do to get your hands on them is just send an email to barry@nextgen.digital and use the word outreach 2021 in the subject heading, and I don't know, just say whatever you want to say, but use that in the subject heading, and we're going to send you an email within the next 24 hours. And it's basically a list of, I think, 10 or 12 template messages. You can just copy and paste. All you need to do is switch the names up. That's it. Right. Oh, and by the way, two more hacks to get people to respond to your messages. First things first, you can actually send voice notes. And a lot of people don't use this, but it's a really cool hack. I'm not really sure if voice notes works well with with the LinkedIn desktop application, but on mobile, you can actually do this on mobile. You can just click on the voice note and send somebody a voice note. And another thing that I use is something called SendSpark. You're free to use whatever. You can use Vidyard, you can use Loom. I use a tool called SendSpark. I absolutely love them. And what I do is I send video messages. I either do a screen recording or I'll just do a basic camera recording and say, hey, buddy, what's up? Haven't heard from you in a while. Hope all is well. Just let me know if you want to connect, and boom, that's it. And what this does is people love something new. People are sick and tired of receiving dozens and dozens of text messages every day. So when they see a voice note or they see a video note, they're more likely to respond. And that's a cool hack. I promise you, if you try either one of these, you will see your engagement rates or response rates soar. Okay. Next is engagement. Now, engagement is
Sorry, Barry, this is me now.
Hey Rita.
Our
So we
time
got
is almost up. Do
okay.
you manage to
Uh,
wrap it up in 1 minute?
Yeah, we can very quickly talk about engagement and then we're set. So very quickly, engagement. These are just a bunch of hacks that I want to tell you. Engagement is something that is really, really crucial if you want LinkedIn's algorithm to pick up your content. So when you post content, you need to start engaging with other people. And the key is when you post something, before you post something, you need to start engaging with people at least 2 to 3 minutes. Between 5 to 10 minutes before you post. That way, it does two things. One, it tells the people that are already online that you are online. And two, it also tells LinkedIn's algorithm that there is something happening with your account and to watch out for your future post. Another thing to do is it's totally fine to respond to your own comments and to other people that are responding within your comment thread. In fact, what I recommend is doing that especially strong in that first 1 hour, because again, it triggers the algorithm to create more activity and to push your posts to more people, right? And
That's
the
great.
last thing is aim to, sorry,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Your last thing,
right,
yeah?
and to aim to have at least 10 comments. You want to try to mix it up. If you're going to mention people, within your network, you want to try and mention 5 to 6 people that have a reasonably large connection, because again, when they bring in their feed shows their connections that they've commented on your post, then it also triggers the LinkedIn algorithm that something is up, something is happening, and also their followers get an understanding of something happening on your feed, and you get extra engagement from there. So
That's great.
yeah, so
Thank you, Barry.
I
Yeah,
hope that helps. I'm gonna very quickly stop.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
I
just
guess
because we
stop
have
sharing.
some Q&A questions and answers time right now, 1 or 2 minutes. We can
Cool.
go ahead and
Sure.
answer some of the questions that our attendees just put on the chat very quickly. So there's someone asking about genuine connections. Do you have tips for a fresher? How do you make those happen on LinkedIn?
Look, genuine connections, you have to, you said it yourself, it's genuine, right? So you have to be genuine.
Yeah,
If the most important thing is create your buyer persona. And when I say buyer persona, it doesn't have to be buyer persona like somebody, i.e., who's going to buy from you. You can create your ideal persona, the kind of, excuse me, for instance, the kind of people that you want to network with, the kind, maybe some people who are, if you're a fresher, chances are you're looking for mentors, right? Chances are you're looking for people that will give you advice. So you got to find the potential people that you have in mind, really study their profiles and follow them almost to the extent of stalking them. Okay, but not really stalking them. You know what I'm saying. And then you need to start building that connection, right? Again, you need to define a fine line, like, right? You need to find, if you're going to look for a mentor, find somebody that has maybe 5, 6, 10,000 connections, not somebody who's got 300,000 connections. The chances are he or she will not get back to you because they have too many DMs to respond to. And
true.
once you've narrowed it down to that niche, then you actually send personal messages. But in those personal messages, you actually quote some of the things the mentor has posted, the potential network has posted, right? Say, oh, I love your article on so and so, and I feel that, and give your 2 cents, add your comments or add your feedback on that in order to make it more genuine. And I'm not promising you that the mentor or the prospect will immediately respond, but you do this over a period of time. And again, don't do it every day. Do it like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on how often that person posts their content. Eventually, he or she will reply. It's just
Really great.
you have to play it very strategically. That's it.
Very good. Barry, one last question really quick. We're way out of time now.
Sure.
What's your opinion on LinkedIn certification? Maybe this is a bit too broad, but if there's anything you can share from your experience on this topic, is it
See,
worth it? And, yeah.
okay. Honestly, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. I love them, right? But I honestly don't think certifications matter as much, especially LinkedIn certifications, because again, they're good in terms of if you want to get knowledge, if you want to get top of the line knowledge, and even to a certain extent intermediate level knowledge, it's fine. But no one's ever becoming an expert from consuming LinkedIn certification and LinkedIn courses and stuff. Okay, they're just there to sort of, you got to understand, LinkedIn's trying to push as much content. They're a content machine. They want to keep people on their website as long as possible, and that is why they have those. They do have some, from time to time they have some courses that are golden nuggets, but they're not like, I would say, if you want to learn stuff, not just LinkedIn but everything else, if you want to genuinely learn stuff, enroll into other courses. But if you want to learn some basic understanding, basic fundamentals of whatever it is, blockchain or cryptocurrency or finance for non-finance managers or something like that, then LinkedIn's a good idea. But again, you're not going to get hired based on LinkedIn certification. Trust me.
Thank you very much. We're going to close it for now. We could be
Sure.
talking the whole afternoon, Barry. It was great to have you here. You gave us a very detailed explanation about setting up your LinkedIn profile, how to structure it, and use keywords, set a call to action, and you would be going on still. I'm sorry, I had to cut you
Hey,
off,
that's
but
totally fine. We just have
people,
one more. Very
yeah,
quickly, though, there is a course. Like I said, we're going to be launching a course very
exactly.
soon. So if anyone's interested in that course, you might even, we're going to enter some names into a raffle once it's ready in June. And then, hopefully you'll get it for maybe half price, maybe even free. I don't know. But the course is going to be a very quick sort of understanding on the fundamentals, how to build your profile, how to generate engagement, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in knowing more about the course, all you need to do, guys, is head on over to the Bismodo booth in the exhibition center, in the virtual exhibition area, and just register intent, and we'll take care of it. Oh, and don't
Exactly.
forget to send me an email for the Outreach 2021 if you want those templates.
Very good. I'm gonna stop this now. Thank you everybody for watching, and go ahead if you want. You can meet Barry at Bismodo booth. So see you for the
See you.
next session. Bye. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.